I've been talking about guidance and looking back at my own life, I could see how the Lord has set me up in different places and different times to achieve what I'm doing right now and to put me in this right place at the right time to do what He wants to do in my life through me for His glory. I want to talk about that today on your Morning Cup of Inspiration. Thank you for joining me. Years ago, I started out as an ABC affiliate and then an NBC affiliate. Then I went to work for a television evangelist who was actually, I think, the first one that was on TV or pretty close to it. And his name was Rex Humbard. And he had a beautiful church called the Cathedral of Tomorrow in Akron, Ohio, but they also had production studios and recording studios and all that went with the production. I went there as a camera operator and I learned audio there and lighting and I learned the ground roots of what I needed to become a producer director later in my career. But one of the trips we took, we went all over the world. We were coming back from Manila, and I was at a restaurant one morning. I was down there waiting to get in, and Rex come walking up, and he says, "You eating with anybody?" I said, "No." He goes, "Let's have breakfast together." So we went in there and sat down and talked about the ministry and what was going on with it, and about his sermons and what he preached. And he told me that his whole basis of his ministry was to preach salvation. He said, "You will never see me preaching something other than salvation." He said, "I'm not a theologian." He said, "I have these honorary doctorates, but I don't want to be called Dr. Humbard. I am a preacher that's preaching salvation. That's my goal, my ministry." And I could see that in everything he did. Every time he spoke, he always put that in there about salvation. On Rex's 80th birthday back in 1999, his family threw a party for him, and they gave us these bookmarks. And I know it's hard to read, but it says on it, "He that winneth souls is wise." Boy, isn't that the truth? And that was what Rex wanted us to know too, because that's what he did his whole life. I've kept this bookmark. I use it in the books that I read, and I look at that and I say that this is where we're at too with Fearless Faith Ministries. That's the main goal. And we're doing that through inspiring and encouraging you to have a personal relationship with Jesus. And that, as I said, that's our goal. And I hope that's your goal too. Now, one more thing about the Rex Humbard ministry was that back at the time, they didn't have satellite, they didn't have cable. This was all done. We had to do individual programs. It was on 18 million viewers over 600 stations, and each station had the same videotape to play every week with the same sermon. So it wasn't just random preaching. It was all the same sermon every week. And that's a marvel in itself at this day and age. But it was such a button-up operation. But that's what God had in mind for Rex, and that's what he did for that ministry. And through that ministry, the word went out. So God is guiding our lives. He guides us from step by step. Look back on your life. You could see where he's led you to right now. I see that in my own life, and I just can't wait to see where he's going to take us next. I hope you have a wonderful day and that you will be blessed. See you again for another Morning Cup of Inspiration.